A half anime review of the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. Try saying that 10 times fast. This anime has some problems, but it might also be something some of you weirdos enjoy. We start off with a lovely isekai story. To be honest, I just learned what isekai meant as I was writing my thoughts on about this anime, and to be honest, I'm probably gonna forget what it means right afterward. Don't hate me. This story follows an assassin named Liu who predictably gets killed by his own assassin organization. Then God says, I need you to do something. He is reborn in medieval times with all his memories, including his assassin skills and some new special powers. And so functionally, you have a 50-year-old man in a new baby's body. Just mull that creepiness over for a second. At this point, there really isn't a way for me to talk about things without giving some level of spoilers. So I mean, if you haven't figured out everything about this anime that probably would happen anyways, this is like a spoiler warning. So 3, 2, 1, go. To be honest, when it comes to the plot and pacing of this anime, I thought it was pretty good. Parts of me enjoyed some aspects of this. It was short enough to keep me entertained as they did a build-up phase to show Liu's training. There will eventually be a build-up where Liu is going to fight the hero, and at the end he fights a big bad guy. Liu wonders if he's the hero, but predictably it is not the hero. As far as the animation and soundtrack, I think it's fine. It mostly didn't distract me. I liked the way that they showcased most of the magic in fighting. The soundtrack was just there. It didn't really do anything one way or another. However, there was one fucking fight that for some reason they like changed the animation, like they sidestepped, and it looked so fucking different from everything else in the anime that it distracted me. I have no idea why they did this. I don't know if they ran out of money. I don't know if the studio was like, let's try to use like AI art. It is like actually kind of jarring. It's like the last 2 episodes of season 1. There's like some scenes where the gods kind of like move and they just look fucking, it looks weird. Like it looks really, really weird. I can't really describe it other than it looks just very off-putting to like everything else. And I have no idea what they did. Now we're gonna get into like my like actual big problems with this anime, because there was some. Like I had some really fucking huge problems with this anime. And to be honest, I don't know if I've ever had issues like this within anime. It's kind of fucked. And there's no other way to put that. First off, just to be safe, this is a little bit of a trigger warning for any like SA stuff. I'm not going to go deep into it because I think it's kind of fucked up. But that's kind of my issue with this, is they had some of it in there. So I wanted to warn you now before I like fucking rant about how this should never fucking be in here. I'm okay with sex in TV shows, animes. It's kind of fine. In fact, I would say that there is times where like, you know, you have 2 characters, you're like, Jesus Christ, would you 2 fuck already? But I think it's important to remember the context of this anime. First off, Liu is a 40-year-old man reincarnated into a fucking child. Okay, he has all of his memories. All of the anime occurs, like the oldest age at the end is he's 14. That's like one of my first issues with this. Next is all of the different people who want to sleep with him are children. Like he's also a child, but the girls who are like throwing themselves at him are also children, and it's kind of fucking weird. It gives off very huge creepy vibes. To be honest, it's like what I would expect from some like fan fiction creep who like writes insanely creepy shit on the internet. It's very weird. As if like the children creepy sex part was not fucked up enough. Next is the incestuous nature of some of these people trying to fuck Liu. There is some like fucked up shit there too. You have like 3 people who I'm going to talk about. 3.5. We're going to say 3.5 people. First, you have a character named Tart. This is the first girl who wants to sleep with Liu. Tart is an abandoned child who her parents literally threw her out because they couldn't feed her. Liu finds her about to be eaten by wolves, and he emotionally manipulates her into being his servant by using the fact that she was abandoned by her parents and almost eaten by wolves, and he saves her, tells her, I need you, and because she has just been abandoned by her parents, she's like, oh my god, he needs me. He then raises her and teaches her to be an assassin, so functionally a tool of his. Throughout like the anime, I think like 2 or 3 times, she continuously wakes him up by saying the most creepy fucking shit that I never want to hear again. He like sleeps into like 10 a.m. and she wakes him up and she's like, if you don't wake up, I'm gonna have to do something mischievous. face and like staring at him, and I'm like, what? Right, like that's fucked. Like, it's such a weird power dynamic. If you thought that wasn't fucked up enough, okay? Later on, when Lou hits like puberty, so he's like 14, okay? She notices the fact that things are rising in the morning. She sees him have a morning wood, and she, I kid you the fuck not, basically says, use me. You can use me for that, and it's like so fucked up. Like, it is such a fucked up dynamic. This is creepy relationship one. It just feels like some fucked up fanboy basically made all of these women throwing themselves at Lou. It's very fucked up. The next love interest is Maha. Okay, this is where some of the SA stuff kind of comes into play. Just a fucking forewarning. Maha is another person who functionally gets, her and her friends get picked up by some human trafficking, and they go like through a lot of SA stuff with them, and it's fucked up. Okay, like that in itself is like fucked up, but kind of like a recurring theme here. Okay, Lou again saves her from this very gross human trafficking ring that her and her friends have basically been through, and like right before Maha is about to be like taken, she gets to watch all of her friends go through this horrible experience, and then she's about to, and Lou saves her, because God forbid this anime not make Lou like some fucking white knight. Okay, so Lou saves her right before she's about to be like put through this experience, which, by the way, none of this really felt like it was needed for the anime's theme. He's an assassin who has to kill a hero. I did not need this level of stuff in here. It also set up another problem where Maha views Lou as this prince and savior, and also just wants his dick. She is also, it's further fucked up because routinely throughout the anime, she calls him her big brother, and in a weird way, she ends up becoming adopted to his like alter ego hidden identity that he has. So she's like his adopted identity's sister. It's an insanely another weird power dynamic where functionally she's like throwing herself at him, and she is also in the room when he gets morning wood and also says, you can use me too. And remember, all of these are children. Like, that wasn't enough. We have a third person. This is Dia. Now, Dia is kind of like, it's the most normal like relationship that Lou has. Dia kind of comes in and trains Lou first, kind of trains. It's more like they're partners at that point. Like, she barely comes in and trains. You have Dia, who is like the main love interest of Lou. Lou loves her, like actively has said that he's in love with her. And until the end of the first season of the anime, you're just like praying that that relationship that they have is somewhat fucking normal, because it's the only one where the power dynamic feels like semi in equal turns. You know, so you're going through, you're watching the anime, and you get to almost the end, as if just to spit in your face, because it's anime knows that the people who like this shit are gonna like it. You find out that Dia is his fucking cousin, like legitimately his cousin. Like, the other ones weren't actually related. Dia is actually related, and he still plans on going through and basically having a relationship. Let's just say, if I wanted step sibling porn, I sure as fuck wouldn't be watching anime, okay? As if you felt like your intelligence couldn't get degraded enough. They just had to throw in some creepy mother shit on top of all of that. There is not really any porn technically. There's just weird relationships. His reincarnated mother, because he's reincarnated, right? It's still technically his mother, his biological mom, in this new reincarnated body. Does some insanely creepy things, like trying to check out his junk after she hears he is getting puberty in morning wood, because the other girl tells his mother, and so she like sneaks into his room. She legit goes into his bedroom in the morning while he's sleeping to see if she can get a little peeksy at his dick. It is really weird. She also tries to like watch him change at that point, and he like legitimately moves her out of the room. It's really weird. Also, she tried to breastfeed him again when he was like 12 years old. I was like, what the fuck am I watching in these moments? If they would have removed a lot of this stuff, I think I probably would have given it like a 6 or 7. Okay, because I am kind of a sucker for like medieval fantasy binges, and I like the concept of an assassin being reborn in a different medieval world is kind of cool to me. That being said, I'm going to rank it at a 5 on the Halfling rating scale. I think that if you're really bored and you can look past the really gross negatives that aren't there all the time, but there's a couple sections of it. It's not like the entire anime was about children having having sex. But if you can look past those insanely gross negatives, you might find part of this anime and enjoying, but I don't think it's good. Like, a 5 is not a good rating from me. I was debating really between a 4 and a 5, and I always put a 4.5 because I think that's probably where it actually ends up more, is more like a 4.5. In conclusion, I think that this anime is it's okay. I wouldn't really recommend it. If you have lots of free time and you need to burn like 3 hours, maybe watch it. If they would have changed a lot of the creepy sex shit, I think it would be a good time filler if you were bored. I really like some of the aspects of the political nature that they kind of talk about, and the role and storyline of like Liu, and the fact that he's in a family of assassins that does work for the kingdom. And they're also like medical experts. I really think a lot of that stuff is very cool. And so like the political nature is not too deep, but it's deep enough to where I want to learn more about the world and the potential for like the magic system in future seasons. That being said, there is no update whether or not a season 2 will happen. So I mean, if you watch this and like it for whatever fucked up reason you're into that, and another season doesn't come out, I'm not sorry.